Oh, let's embrace debate. And first up on First Take, Peyton's pressure to perform. The Denver Broncos are putting all their chips on the right arm of Peyton Manning. He'll make $18 million in year one. If he passes his physical next March, he is guaranteed $40 million over years 2 and 3. Asked yesterday about a plan B, Broncos executive vice president John Elway said there is no plan B. Tim Tebow won a playoff game last year with these Denver Broncos. Now he's being shown the door. Most likely to be traded, could happen as soon as today. How much pressure is there on Peyton Manning to outperform Tim Tebow?
Before you answer that,
yes,
I didn't get to shake your hand.
No bling.
Now gloves are off.
Let me say this. First of all, technically, theoretically speaking, of course, there's a little pressure on Peyton Manning. But there's nothing that he won't alleviate inside of a half, okay?
A half?
How difficult is it going to be for him to show that on his worst day, he is still a better quarterback than Tim Tebow? Let's just put it in perspective, all right? This is just a beautiful day because now in the Mile High City, you got a quarterback, not a popularity contest, not a phenom that's loved by everybody, not somebody being pushed by the religious right, not somebody that sits there and says, oh, you know what, let me sprinkle on you and you too shall be healed. Oh, no, none of that. What we have here is a quarterback. A man in 13, we always say 14 years. He didn't play the entire season last year.
Yeah.
So he's played 13 years. First 13 years of his career, never missed a game. First 13 years of his career, 11 times the man threw for 4,000 plus yards. He has never thrown for less than 3,700 yards in his career. He hasn't thrown more than 17 interceptions in a season since 2003. This dude is the real deal. 4-time league MVP, Super Bowl champion. And oh, by the way, did I say he could pass? Did I forget to say he could pass? He can pass, ladies and gentlemen. He can actually, what that means is, for those of you who didn't know, because you might have been confused by Tebow mania, it might have threw you off to some degree. This is what a quarterback is. Somebody that bends his knees, gets behind center, gets there, puts his hand in between the cracks, gets the football, drops back, and actually passes the ball without it bouncing to somebody.
No, wait a second.
That's a quarterback.
Passes the ball
That's a quarterback.
This way.
Like this. You know what I mean? I mean, this is what it is. So this is just a beautiful, beautiful day, and God bless him. And if Peyton Manning is healthy, clearly, Tim Tebow won your playoff game. So, you know, it would look bad if you don't.
Oh, now you're getting serious.
No, you would look bad if you don't win a playoff game.
Or make the playoffs.
Right. Oh, God, he's got to make the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, let's just be real here. Peyton Manning can live on the field with crutches and still be a better quarterback than Tim Tebow. That's just what it is. You can go ahead.
Are you finished with all your showmanship and your bombast?
And I'm just getting started. Y'all don't even know what's coming at y'all today. I'm just getting started.
It is going to be a fun day.
This is a beautiful day. Go ahead, Skip Bayless.
Now let's analyze what just really happened here.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to the truth of the matter.
Uh-oh.
Was Peyton's decision based on fear or arrogance? Did he, in fact, run from the 49er pressure of Super Bowl or bust, as some have speculated? Or was it just the pure arrogance that he looked at the Broncos and thought, I can do a lot better than Tebow did with that team? In fact, he may look at this team and think it's much better than its record last year.
Oh, yeah.
He may look at this team and think, this team actually won in spite of Tim Tebow, not because of him.
Where have you heard that before?
Oh, somewhere.
Okay. I'm just checking.
We have to decide here.
Okay.
Did he run from the pressure in San Francisco, or did he run to what could be viewed as a great challenge, but maybe in his heart of hearts he thinks, this is a gimme. I can take this up 3 more levels than Tim Tebow.
On the heels of what happened in Indy without him,
correct.
You could see how one might make that assumption.
Okay. So, I think the pressure is even greater on him right now in Denver than it would have been in San Francisco. I think that he has to take this up to the 2 playoff win level. He's got to at least win 2 playoff games, or he's a failure next year. Am I right about that? He'll be a failure in your eyes.
He'll be a failure.
You're saying he's better on crutches than Tim Tebow, so he better be.
Yeah, but unlike you, I'm not oblivious to the fact that it's a team game, and he could do his job.
Don't make excuses for him.
I'm not making excuses for him. I'm simply saying he could do his job, and you could still lose. So I'm not going to judge him. Clearly, they got to make the playoffs. I don't care what. You should be able to make the playoffs, okay? But beyond that, it depends on the team.
Okay. I am on record as of yesterday, really the day before yesterday, is saying Peyton chose the most difficult challenge of all of his suitors. He took the worst roster of those that wanted him. Okay. So he had better be the Peyton of old and not an old, broken down Peyton Manning. He better be, because the pressure will ratchet up if, in fact, Tim Tebow is set free by John Elway.
Yeah.
I believe Tebow will go elsewhere and come back to haunt the Denver Broncos. And he will not only haunt just John Elway, but by association, he will haunt Peyton Manning. So, in the big picture, while Peyton wants to try to show up Jim Irsay, right? He wants to prove him wrong. Somewhere out there, Tebow will be trying to prove Elway / Peyton wrong.
Absolutely.
So you better be careful right now, because your worst nightmare is just beginning.
I'm glad that
just beginning.
You just silence now. Just silence, okay? This is the deal. I'm glad you brought up that last analogy, worst nightmare. Skip Bayless, I have now become your worst nightmare, because what has happened is every day, oh yes, that's right, making that face good. Go ahead, Joker, try to make that face, okay? But the fact is that I have sat there and I have become your worst nightmare, and here is why. I have told you this boy can't throw the football. I have told you he didn't deserve to be a starting quarterback. And now, as we will get into as this show progresses, where is he going to get a job at? What starting job is waiting for him? We shall see. That's number one. Number two, clearly, when you talk about the rosters and how Peyton Manning may have chosen the most difficult challenge, okay, I'll give you that. You might, because I definitely think San Francisco was the best place for him to go.
Sure.
There's just no question about it. But with that being said, let's analyze the Denver Broncos here. John Fox can coach. A lot of people universally recognize him as a pretty stellar coach on the NFL level. John Elway, regardless of what you say in terms of him being an executive, we forget that last year was pretty much his rookie year as an executive for the Denver Broncos, okay? I mean, he's new to this, all right? And he walked into the Tim Tebow situation. He didn't draft him, so he had to deal with that particular situation. There is no crime. There is no stain on your resume. Oh, I decided to go away from Tim Tebow to Peyton Manning? Shoot me. Please, stop it. Anybody in his right mind that was an executive, that is an executive, would have made the same move outside of Skip Tebow himself. So the reality...
I would have made the move.
All right, then that's fine. Well, that's good for you to admit that. So the reality is that clearly there isn't that pressure because of that reason. Here's where John Elway has a legitimate nightmare. If Peyton Manning and that neck injury is revisited and he gets hurt again, and it's this season, early in this season, when Tim Tebow a miracle happens and somebody brings him on board to be their starting NFL quarterback. If that happens, then you have a legitimate point. But as long as Peyton Manning's on the field, we have no concerns. Zero. And I do mean zero.
What have I told you from the start? There's certain people you better not bet against. Mm-hmm. You better not bet against Tim Tebow's future. He will come back to haunt you. He'll come back to haunt Elway. He'll, by association, haunt Peyton Manning. Right. He will go elsewhere. And again, if I were running the Broncos, if I had a shot at Peyton, I would take him now. Yeah. But I would beg Tim Tebow to be patient, because I'd say, you are our future, and that's not what John Elway.
Wait a minute. You don't get